I was gonna say, how did he get a new spot, but I am what's there.
It's been 50-50, but it looks like it's working out. Huh?
So, oh, yeah,
Chandler?
How are you guys?
Good.
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 And now,
Perfect. All right, it's 3 o'clock. We can stand for the pledge to open the February ordinance meeting of town council.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you guys see have Brian on here? Was he planning on coming or just an update?
No, he called,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
I asked him if he talked to you, and he said, no, you've talked to his
I
brother.
spoke with his brother
I
since, so,
said I would see how we're coming along with everything. Because they said Julian was gonna take care of that.
yep, and we're looking forward to that meeting, and then we'll make sure he gets notified plenty of time to come down.
Okay, we don't know when.
The goal was gonna be before the March, regular meeting, that way the board could have the minutes from that meeting after the March regular meeting.
Okay,
zoning meeting?
The date's not picked yet. We were just trying to make sure that it was done before the regular meeting, that way we have those minutes before it's done.
okay, now, you said something about the March 11th meeting.
Yeah, some of us may not be able to make it, maybe. It's winter sports paper.
Gotcha, well, we'll find out if there's a quorum.
Okay.
Maybe there is, there isn't. If there's not, then
You might have to go, you'll probably go, and I'll probably be out.
I'm sure that with most of those sports banquets, the parents will find out from their kids the night before.
So you would want to try and do town meeting or not?
No.
is that the next order, or that's the next regular meeting?
Yes, the
Yeah.
11th.
Oh, you're saying, are you, to the regular meeting, you want to do that meeting?
Yes.
I thought you meant the zoning meeting.
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
The actual business meeting, or regular meeting, is a sports paper at the school.
It's the same.
For the winter, yeah.
It's March 11th.
I have to
So
go,
that will
because
take out
when I was out of town.
myself, you and Matt.
Sure.
That's up to you guys. If you don't want to go through this or not. So, if you want to reschedule?
Do we have task force next month?
We have task force on the 5th. We got to do before that.
I was thinking if we want to move to Wednesday, but
Doesn't
We're on a
matter.
meeting on the 11th.
I'm good with it.
I say leave it alone.
We're good.
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Right, and certificates, Judy, this is what you print out as examples for us to choose.
Yes.
And then will be printed on the card stock for the airport
The 45th.
contestants.
Yes.
Gotcha. So she made 3 here.
We don't need to sign these.
No, but I already have.
These are mock-ups.
Yes.
Good practice.
And it
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the verbiage.
Right.
Is there anything that needs,
You see my card?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Steve Westbrook asked that we hand, because
I like the recognition on top of my head.
Recognition or appreciation, one of these.
Yeah.
Because they did more than participate. So either way.
And they were gonna try to put on the actual sign they got thrown up, right?
Yeah, a little thing on the bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went with recognition.
Yeah, what did you think, Judy? Did you have an opinion of the 3? So recognition?
Yep.
What do you have done for claims?
some that got dropped when I closed out 2025, I found some able. So we have some clients that need to be approved.
You need a motion?
Yes. And it's been I think February.
It's all just payroll.
Oh, that's, in-
Bishop, Judy,
uh,
the claims are all payroll.
yes. Six.
Entertain that motion if you want.
I will make a motion to approve claims as submitted.
Oh, second.
Motion from Chandler, second from Mike, all in favor? Opposed?
We need to sign this copy.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What was your transfers?
I had a few more for cleanup when I closed out. And then just zero themselves out. So I need an approval on that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Oh, second.
Yep, motion from Chandler, second from Mike, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
And that's for that's that equipment from Sarah Zager.
Okay. This is for the architectural plan for the new pavilion in Cass Park. And what we would do is give this to you to review and you would accept it based on your opinion.
Okay. One question I did look through it a little bit. I'm pretty familiar with this document. Does this include the structural plan, or do we have to get the structural plan? Is this gonna take care of structural?
She asked about that, and I think that takes care of it.
Okay, that would be one definite question I would have.
Yeah, now the one thing that we don't have that she has, that I'd ask Ricky about is who has the survey of the ground that's gonna be included in that.
That would
She
probably,
needs that.
has that been done?
Well, I thought we had to get the grant.
No.
Because we had to show what was excluded or not excluded in the grant.
Did you all see the email that Casey sent? She had a bunch of questions about the project. And then she sent me all about.
Yeah, because I see design phase, and then my other question is, am I reading this right? The total. So we paid her for the initial design phase already, is that correct?
Right.
How much? 12?
I think that's what it was.
I think you're right. Now, is that come off of there since we've already paid for the design phase?
I would have to ask about that.
Because it shows 40% would be the design phase, which she's technically done.
Right.
So that would be my couple questions on that document. That's just
It's the same.
me.
Yeah, it's the actual agreement.
That's the, yeah, the.
And so is that the design that's the final, that's what it's gonna be? Or is it
No,
just a-
no, that was just an initial throw together of design. That was not the actual design of the facility.
Gotcha. So when we're looking at it in space, storage and all that.
That's just the, how she wants to be paid, which is very common, so.
And this is just a contract entering with her to look at different designs and potentials and go through.
She already has an initial idea for a design. Now she's gotta do the bones to it, you know.
Yeah.
The real,
The specs and all
the
this.
specs, you know, that it would take to do it.
But completely different than this? But you're saying it's completely different than this, or she's giving us options?
No, it's that design, and then she would put all the specifics to it.
Okay, and then the park board, who came up with the design? I guess is what I'm asking. Who said
The
this
park
is what
board
we want?
and the park board, and then several of us that had input to it as to what it would look like in terms of looking a lot like the railroad depot.
Right,
And
that's
then,
exactly what I thought it looked like, so.
yeah, and so we took, then we approved that, and then she put that together, we approved it, and now it went in as part of the bid package for the whole grant, and now we've got to have an architectural drawing. That's just a
Artist Career.
Thank you.
And you were at these meetings, right?
Yeah.
I was saying a couple, yes.
I was trying to figure out why nothing was making sense. I'm like, I don't remember looking into this. So
Yeah,
as long as he's good.
This was probably done a year or
So
more.
as long as Cody, they review it and it's fine, then we're good to go. So
Well, she'll,
do you want approval, are you looking for approval tonight based on?
His approval.
Yep.
I would like to know about structural, because that will be, structural will cost us a decent amount.
Right.
If she can't do, if that price doesn't include structural, then that's quite a bit more.
Right.
And then also is the 12 grand, I'd like to know, if that's figured in, or if that's not, if those are answered. And
So it sounds like there's questions. Does that mean that we're gonna try to table it until the general meeting
Yeah.
in March?
yeah, if you're good with that.
All right, so the questions I need to ask are, one, is the structural included in a quote?
Yes.
And then is the,
Does that price subtract that 12 that was already paid to her?
Yeah. And the one question is if the structural is not included, if she can do the structural, because I do know at our meeting that they wanted the structural drawing to see what was gonna be underneath it.
Right.
So, if she could give us a price on what the structural will cost. If she's got someone, if not, I'm sure we can find someone.
Ricky, did you have any issues with?
I was wondering, are we able to change any of the storage layout, or is that gonna ruin the whole design? Because we have soccer goals out there from the soccer league, it'd be nice to store them there on site instead of transporting them.
I thought that was part of the initial design.
I had no part of any of this, so I don't know, but based on the door, it's gotta be a overhead door, it can't be a walk-through door, they're too big.
Okay.
I had to look at the dimensions again, but they're almost 20 foot long.
And that's not final design anyway, so we'll have a say. I
It is,
mean, that was just a look good, pretty picture to turn into for the grant. There is, I mean, I don't think there's anything set.
So it can be made larger, spaces can be different, but if this is the general outcome.
okay, I just had a few
It would be nice if it
questions
could, it looked like the railroad
Yeah.
thing, but other than that, I think anything else can pretty much be changed.
We can change as long as we don't increase the footprint.
Yes, yep, that, because it's in.
I don't want to take too much, but it's nice to store everything we already have out there, not have to.
Yeah, we don't want, we can't increase the footprint and, we, can't, and we gotta be real careful about moving the budget around.
Because the soccer goal would be nice to leave out there, because they're aiming to move all the way in town and side to side. And was part of that storage room, my understanding, like I said, I don't know anything about it, was that gonna be concessions too, where they're gonna put some kind of concessions out there for the soccer? Nothing to do with, so where's concessions gonna operate out of? I thought, out of the depot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, you know, as you all remember, we cannot include any improvements to the depot in this because the NR.
Right, yeah, I understand that.
Right, that's gonna be a separate.
I just knew the concessions was brought up, and I obviously
Right.
wasn't,
But that will be a separate fundraiser.
okay.
So we're gonna table until the March meeting, the March regular meeting, and then also pending approval. of the attorney review.
Yep.
Casey had mentioned too that she wanted to make everyone's office review, just as a grant.
Okay. It's pretty good idea. And did she have a date, did she have some dates?
Not really a date on here, she just had a bunch of questions.
You want to touch base with Casey and Mike?
I can do that.
Okay.
So now we're going with the agreement. I know it says straight to adjournment, but we talked last time, when are we gonna start going through these ordinance books to make the determination of who's in charge of enforcing what? I know we talked about that last time.
Yeah. I mean, we can do that. The other main thing is we need to go through, get everyone's notes together, get it sent to publishing, so everyone can, we can get this finalized, so we can start to enforce.
We have a guest here, do we want to?
Get them out of the way?
That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, we'd love to get out of the way.
Worry about ordinance stuff.
Yeah, no, I could listen to it all day. So, my name's Steve Eastridge. I'm with NextEra Energy. Also a Jasper County resident. Used to run the economic development organization in Jasper County for a long time. I have with me a colleague, Amelie. We're here to talk about just kind of continuing conversations on our project here in Pentland, our Reynolds Solar project. I know our previous developer here would have been Chris Neff. He has transitioned to a different team on our group. And so we want to talk about next steps and kind of work with, what this looks like moving forward as we look to construct our project and have it operational by, maybe as soon as 2028. And so I want to start working with you guys to understand what the next steps look like. I think we have some context from our side on some of the things we're trying to work through and understand and solve. I think we have some updated information for you guys, some updated numbers we want to present to you, and try to map out what that looks like and having that conversation. And ultimately, our goal is we feel like we can be a pretty good partner, both in how we design the project, but also how we propose our impact and our financial impact specifically. And want to kind of start sharing that information and figure out how we get that with you guys. And all that being said, that ultimately I'm going to be the project developer here. So just kind of want to reopen the communication and work on moving our project forward.
Because I think this is probably the first we've heard from you guys for a few months, right?
Yeah. I think we've tried to find the right way to reach out.
And there were some issues with your guys' footprint and our buffer zone, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
Yeah, if I can just summarize how I understand it, and maybe that we can get there. I think we understood is that we're in your buffer zone, the project as it's laid out, and maybe that doesn't provide the financial impact that really makes it worth going through the process and perhaps the hassle of us being our project, right? And so what we've done is gone back and scrubbed our project and looked at our finances and figure out how do we make it worth it. I think we have a pretty robust offer, and I want to lay that out and see how it works for you, and really look at how we structure it in a way that works for you. I'm working on developing the project in Benton County, and when we were negotiating that deal, at the end of 24, we really took a lot of input from the county on when they needed what they needed. And kind of want to have that same conversation with you guys and figure out how this is the most impact to you guys and helps fund some things in the county that when you guys are looking to do.
So did you adjust your footprint then to become totally inside of our buffer zone? Because it was my understanding there was a decent section outside of it.
We'll go back and look, but
No,
we're entirely in the buffer.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, we're
The
entirely
first
in the
one was out and then they revamped it and then it was completely.
Candidly, I think
That's significant since it's been moved in from that area.
No, the last one I seen, I think was in the buffer.
Yeah, it was.
we're entirely in the buffer.
The main thing at this point though is that we aren't gonna do anything until we find out what the county's lead is on it. So, until then, we probably are gonna be, kind of standing away until we find out what that leadership is.
Yeah, I think, these are the types of conversations we want to have. I think we feel like we have a path towards an application that allows us to move forward under the current ordinance, understanding that there's tension and that there's hassle that comes with these projects, and perhaps how we've modeled this does not necessarily look like we want to be good partners. I think we want to have a discussion. If we have an application that's set in front of you guys, it's kind of been in our court. We need to move that forward, with all honesty. And now we really want to focus on moving that current application forward as it's been presented and figure out how we make that work for you. We've got plans to really mitigate any sort of interaction with the county and make sure that we sort of stay clear of them from a permitting and approval standpoint and focus everything that we want to do with the town of Pentland. So we focus all of our, financial impact and our partnership and all that, just funnel that to you guys.
Okay, yeah, because I think to that point though, we're not gonna want to get crossroads with the county. So, but again, we're gonna follow what they do, and we still have discussions with them going on. So until that's resolved, I don't know that, we're gonna move very fast on anything.
Yeah. So then would the next step be to have our team reach out to Becky and company figure out what the status of our application is.
Are you still working with Mary Sullivan?
Yeah, we see things.
I would say Mary probably needs to reach out to Goddard's for a while and go from there. Yeah, like what you do.
Happy to do that. Does it make sense then to put forth, a kind of modified economic development package that we want to, amend the
I wouldn't mind seeing anything. I don't know why I'm having some sort of a, I'm here last year, but I don't recall seeing anything since the plan was partially out of our think so.
I think we did a very poor job of trying to figure out how to address it. We kind of took our time. And then right in the middle of finding that out, we had our development team kind of move around a bunch, and just one of those things that we were spinning too many plates and one fell. So that's on us for sure. But I think now our team's reloaded again. We've got all our information. We want to figure out how to sort that out with you guys.
Yeah, I would say it would be acceptable for them just to shoot that stuff really.
Yeah, but I think going off of what Mike said, obviously, just understand that, the county's also looking in, I think that process is gonna start in March. And so that's obviously gonna take a little bit of time. So, but I'd be happy to kind of receive whatever it is that we have to offer and take it from there.
And then have those discussions with the county.
Exactly.
With the permit as it's submitted today, do we have any specific pieces of it to go through the county ordinance, or is it your understanding that our permit that's been submitted to the county previously, that's still active? Is that fully under the jurisdiction of the county?
I don't know right off the top of my head. I'll have to get that for you. And I can give you my contact information. I can figure it out on that.
Right, and then in the future, if you are gonna be on the agenda, make sure you run that through Judy at the time.
Yeah, our goal was not to interrupt the meeting at all, it was just to sit and listen and hopefully grab someone's ear and just talk. And, try to introduce ourselves and make sure we can start.
I think that's why I was confused when I first walked in. I saw those people hearing some of the different stuff on the agenda today. I'm like, what day is it?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I got an email this morning and that was, yeah, follow that line.
I was going to say, do you have business cards?
I don't, but I can share my information with you. We definitely did want to hijack. Our goal was just to kind of sit and listen and, have the opportunity, maybe at the end of public comment or something, and talk about, just introduce ourselves, not try to hijack it.
All of them. No problem.
The very first one I see was outside the buffer. It was across the road, and we determined it was, I think that I remember having that conversation.
Because the part that showed up was what's it, 7 right? Down by those ones. Because I remember that county goes through and found out the original, the buffers and.
Because we were looking up there. So, yeah, it was switched, so.
Do you have what you need from them, dude? So do you have what you need from them? Okay.
I was going to say, what makes you wait a couple?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what is stop.
And Stephen is a PH, right?
Correct.
And IEAS2. OB. Thank you.
I can forward that.
So you can get it coded. Thank you.
Everything else?
Mike, if you wouldn't mind forwarding that email to me as well, and then I'll,
Yeah, I think I just left a voicemail, I just called and left a voicemail.
I was thinking it was a, but that's all right.
put your email address.
It's, Stephen. Eastridge. At nearmber.com. And we can have his guys reach out and try to coordinate all the information for you guys.
Sounds good.
And we can get out of here.
Hey, you can stay and talk about ordinances if you'd like.
Yeah,
It's
right.
gonna be super exciting.
We spend a lot of time talking about ordinances.
Unfortunately, we do too.
Yeah, right.
Sure. Okay, thanks so much.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Hey,
Have a
hey,
good night.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Right. And before I forget to type you, Brian Barkin said he had somebody that wants to purchase that. I said, is there a car dealer? He said, yes. But he said they sell Porsche and all these very nice cars.
I'm sure, but read all three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either way, that's an issue for zoning, right?
Yep.
well, and
Isn't
our
our-
zoning right now that it's gotta be indoors.
If it's the one
Which
zoning,
location you're talking about?
old liquor store.
The old liquor
Yes,
store.
okay, yes.
And the same that
Unless the
the
zoning.
dude from,
Okay,
Corey's old
he
place.
gave me, he is doing tires and oil drops. Oil changes,
So it should be fine.
yes.
as long as it's indoors.
That's what we should do.
Yep.
A few underground tanks.
Yeah.
Right.
So where are we at? What do you wanna do?
Well, I mean, we can go over who's gonna take care of ordinances, that's fine. But the first thing, I mean, the main thing is we went through and we've approved ordinances as they went in. But a lot of the ordinances that have been changed aren't put into place, so we can actually not enforce the ordinances until we go through the ordinance book to put them in. So we've changed them in the notes.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, I mean,
Right. But
go ahead.
no, you're right, we're in the notes, and I let Becky know, Judy has her notes.
So I don't know what the best way, if we need to take time to go through the book again, to kind of like go through, make sure everything's in order. I don't know what you guys think the best way is this, if you and Becky want to work together, figure out what the best way, but I know like you'll have notes, Becky will have notes. Well, before Becky was in here, Pat will have notes, and then, you know, it's just, everyone has notes. So I don't know if we need to take these meetings, sit down and go through the notes and go through everything kind of rough again, or what the best way to actually do this is.
So have we approved moving forward with the ordinance people?
No, and that was based on a final review of Pat, Becky notes, Judy notes.
Okay. So is there a way we can get all those notes assembled so that we can review those?
Yeah, I mean, something, it's gotta be organized somehow, yeah. What the best way, I don't know. Like, did she get back to us? I never did see any email, I haven't watched closely, but about the online, are we allowed to
Yeah, we're
post?
past there, good, we're fine. That's all, I mean, we're literally, the only thing that we're waiting on is us
Getting
to
our
say,
stuff
yeah, we
together.
wanna order it, but we wanted to double check those notes first, so.
And then I guess the next thing is, how do they want those? Do they want us to go through and put them in word by word? Do we just give them the notes? Do they legally put them in? How does that process work?
I think we just get our notes and they put them in.
They word them for us.
So I guess we just need to organize the notes have them put them in, and then I'm sure they're gonna send us the book back for revision. We read over it and see if we see anything else, and then that's how we go about it.
I guess.
I don't know what the best way is, I was just voicing.
I pulled my minutes
Okay.
from my meetings. But we've got apps and we've got package checkers. And how they want to combine those, I don't know.
Sure.
But I think Jamie asked about an ordinance the other day. I don't think it's gonna hurt to briefly go back through these.
So, I guess my thinking is you have your notes together, roughly.
Yeah.
So if you have your notes together, if Becky and you guys can get your notes together, I say we come back to these meetings and take the notes and just kind of compile it, and someone needs to make a master plan.
But, I know, the problem is, though, that's exactly what we said last month,
What do you mean?
that we need to do this at a meeting, but
Correct.
it's another month, and it's gonna be another month after that.
Well, I mean, we gotta have the notes together.
I know.
So,
I think Becky and Judy and Pat, whoever y'all need to get together, get all their notes together, then bring it to a meeting for us, or for you guys. to review.
I'm good with that too.
Well, honestly, I think that if you could scan or whatever email everyone yours, if Becky could do the same with hers, and then we have ourselves some homework before that next meeting to go over, to look, to confirm, and then I think that next meeting would be nice and sweet.
I'm good with, like I said, anything, but I don't also want to turn into this people, Judy's notes, Becky's notes, Pat's notes, and then say, here, figure it out, because then they're gonna say,
This contradicts.
Yeah.
what's going on here? And then that's usually when your quote goes out the door and they mess around for twice as long. And I think that we need to have one master plan. Now, how that gets done, that's totally,
Now, this started back in 2020.
oh, I know, that's what I'm saying.
So, there's a lot there.
Just for my entertainment, like, what's the extent of your notes, like how many pages?
I would say most of them is probably 2 or 3 pages.
Okay,
There's a few with one,
yeah,
but we can talk about. I can't say.
Well, and see, I mean, boards have changed. I mean,
Yes.
when you guys came in, we were halfway through the book already. I wasn't even here when the first part came.
yeah,
So I mean, that's what I'm saying is if we don't start from the front, is you might think something's in the book that Debbie or whoever in the past didn't agree with. Well, if we want to change it, now's the time to change. Which
Otherwise, we're
I-
gonna change it and just have a piece of paper in front of the book.
just like we have. Yes, exactly.
We will have a new Bible.
Yes, yes. And I get we're gonna keep adding ordinances and stuff like that. It's gonna-
Right, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Sensible, but
no, this is not something that I know we want to do, but I don't know how to get this all organized.
Well, how long would it take for you guys to assemble all those notes?
Yeah, I mean, if you get your notes, the main thing is we have to have the notes.
are your notes digital? Are they, is it on a Word document or something, or is it paper?
Yeah.
Well, then this should be quite simple, of her forwarding hers, Becky forwarding hers.
I was going to say, I will get a hold of Becky and Cody.
my thought is, I mean, the idea is as far as putting together a master set of notes, it's just compiling them in one cohesive thing. You know, it's not changing anything because it's everyone's got it has to get added together. So really, I mean, theoretically, only one person needs to be tasked with actually just kind of putting it together because ultimately you come back, that's where things are going to get stricken, decided upon, and ultimately approved. And so, I mean, the more people you have, you're working on the master set, the longer it's going to take, the more, so understanding that, the system of checks and balances is all in place, so you just need someone to actually do it, put it together. Feel like that's just, whoever wants to do it, or however, whoever you'd like to just kind of
put it all together in one. That'd be the quickest, most efficient way to do it.
I nominate the legal counsel president at this time to have everybody compile, give him the notes and let him compile the order master file.
I'd like to see the notes. Can you have Becky send her notes? Like, does Becky have one document for one day, one document for the next day, one document, or are they all in a one running document? Because if she's got them all together, then that's gonna save a lot of time.
Yeah.
But if she's got the thing, so why don't you get yours together? We'll get started taking your notes, and Becky started taking her notes. 3 chapters in the front. If we did, we'll have to go through them, and we'll just work at. I mean, there's not much we can.
So it sounds like what we've decided is that the notes will be disseminated to the board for us all to go and glance at and see what's going on, right?
Yes. I will reach out to Becky and let them know. Because I don't know what that is. Pat probably doesn't know what he did with his notes.
Well, some days Pat wasn't here,
Well, that's true.
so I mean,
Well, then you didn't have any notes.
exactly.
Not yes.
Okay. With ordinances being said, I have one I would propose to the board. So we can, that feels one that we need to, Cody and I discussed this last night. It would fall under the nuisance, however, I think we need something a little more definition to it. And it absolutely pains me that we have to do this. But it is becoming an epidemic in this town. And it's dog feces. Like, people are just letting their dogs run in other people's yards, the parks, parking lots, everywhere. And we have the nuisance ordinance, but I did some research last night, and there are towns that do actually have a ordinance that is specific to dog feces and its removal and how it's supposed to be removed in the time frame and whatnot. So I have a copy that I would like the board to look over, make some notes, give it to legal so that we can get it drafted up and get it on the books as soon as possible.
Send it to us, make a motion that we table it generally until we can all review it and have the time.
There you go.
I don't want a paper copy, can you send it to me in email?
Yes.
Or at least have a copy for all 3 of us?
Well, and then with all this being said, like you said, is if anyone has any ordinance that we're thinking about adding, bring it to us now, because
Right.
I get we're gonna add them, but we don't wanna have 10 pieces of paper in the front of our brand new binders. I mean, I get there's
If
gonna
you to take action, please email it prior so we have time to review and legal review and all that. Yes.
It is absolutely amazing that we have to do this.
Right.
I mean, it is bad though. It's horrible. I mean, it's like a pandemic.
Does that apply to residential homes that pick up from out of their yard, or is that just public right of ways?
No, it's, it governs residential and public areas.
So you're gonna park people stick it out of their yard. So how are you gonna enforce that if they don't do that? That's my question.
It's an ordinance.
That's my question.
So what about?
You gotta walk on a property without
If you
walking.
can, no, you can see it from the street. If it's a plain view, the plain view doctrine, it's right there. If there's 75 piles in somebody's front yard,
So, like, well, safety. Yeah.
so I'm just saying.
The winter time is worse. In the summer, it usually goes away.
Goes away with the rain.
That's because you step on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mow over it.
What about these?
They were just sitting there. I know we did something with McKinsey, but did we do anything else?
What is that?
I don't think so. I've got with her
It's all-
and she's actively
No enforced ordinances, so here we are.
trying to round updates to get in and get the certification she needs to train before we train the other ones.
Let's get this one up to the top.
Oh, we can wait.
It's a regular meeting type of thing.
No, I'm just curious, is she gonna get her certification? Do we know that yet? I just need to know timeline to open the pool, because my spring's filling up quicker than I expected.
I think that.
And I'm gonna open the
we
pool
always open
sooner
around the
than
same
normal.
time, right?
Huh?
You always open around the same time.
A week before usually, but if she's gonna do training there, she may need 2 weeks before or something, so I just need to know. And we've got the park projects going on now, we got some other stuff coming up, I just wanna make sure I don't overbook everything.
Why don't we throw that on the regular meeting and then
Okay.
either myself or you can get with utilizing South Newton's pool for training. Right?
Okay.
If that's
I
possible.
mean, I can get it ready, it's just a matter of, do I need to get it ready? Cause I don't wanna get too early, cause then we're wasting chemical and pumping through, and I don't
But how,
want to.
it would be nice to find out if that pool would be sufficient for them to do the training. And if the answer is yes, if the school would allow it, because it's gonna save us a lot of money on chemicals if
Yeah.
we don't have to open it
Yeah,
in ahead. And I would imagine that would probably be no different, but.
I think they've used the pool in the past out there. Okay. They've gotten permission to do that, so. Except for last year, they didn't want to walk together, so.
When's Lear?
Year before,
I was
yeah,
gonna
right?
say, I think 2 or 3 years ago, I'm not sure who we talked to,
It all flies, but when they went down to,
but they got upset and charged us.
so I was just trying to be, like you are, proactive on it, so we're not.
South Newton charges?
For what?
For the use of the pool.
Was it like another? Yes. Maybe. What else?
Next week.
I'm going to, go to the commissioners meeting and see if we can get $1 million loan for the purchase of the property on Green Street.
Do we need to have any sort of meetings prior to that for plans of talking with them
What,
I talked to Tammy, and, the suggestion was to go ahead and present what we're thinking early in the season before the county spends all of it.
or? Judy, where do we sit when it comes to paying back something like that?
well, what were you going, what were you hoping to go for? I know it might not work out.
I was open to go for, we pay for it as we sell off the lots, or that would be my favorite, and then the second favorite would be to position it as a 10-year interest rate.
Where do we sit to pay back a 10-year interest rate loan?
That's my question. Before I
Well, okay, it's, no, you don't have that much money in it. It has to go 20, 30, you know what I'm saying? And I would prefer if we sell the lots.
which is the way that the USDA
I
loans are
would
structured.
hope.
Cause what, on top of the million, we're gonna put some serious money into them, right, Mike?
Yeah,
The-
the infrastructure is 2.4, but my theory.
So you're
on
talking
this-
total 3.4?
My theory on it is that I would like to get the ground secured, and even if it takes us 2 or 3 years
To do that.
infrastructure, I don't care, at least we own the ground, and we can lease the ground. Continue to lease it as farm ground, in the meantime, but what I'm concerned about is that the owner of the ground, Bill, would retract the offer, to purchase, and then we're back to square one. And the other is that I think he's pushing, because I think, for a long time he didn't want to do anything, and now, I think there's some health issues within the family, and we'd like to go get it done.
So, and what meeting is that? What's the date of that
Maybe
meeting?
the commissioners meeting
On when?
on Tuesday.
Like next Tuesday? Does that give you time to be able to look and see what's even practical?
Our
Because
bond through, Baker Tilly, our bond capacity is around 700,000.
But we're talking about a loan from the county.
But if you have a loan through the county, then you're gonna have to get a bond.
Right. But we still have to know what the amount in terms could be for you to be able to present something to it.
That, yeah,
Because I feel like if you go forth to them and ask without something, that's going to be honestly no.
Do what?
I feel like if you go forth without all of the steps laid out,
Oh, yeah,
then it's going to give them a whole other month to come back and
which will probably happen.
I know they're pretty stretched, but
and maybe you pay back a small amount per year. And so you start selling these off,
When
but I don't think we can afford $100.
the firehouse, it's about paid off, right? Through the county? It's getting close, isn't it? So you paid several extra payments on it. Well, what do we owe? Is it 200? To the county, so,
Was it 200?
so we paid down on
Okay,
that.
so, yes, so,
What do we pay, 25 a year?
yes,
And then the pool is also what?
it's 40,000 a year.
But it's not going away anytime soon. Or was it?
Well, we made 2 payments, 3 payments on the pool.
it's all on bond.
Those are both through the county. The firehouse is through the county and so is the pool.
Yes.
I was just wondering how much we were paying there to see if any one of those were coming up, then we could pay, do some of that too. Sounds good.
Yeah, if you guys think it's too soon for me to go to the county, I think that's fine.
Let me post some numbers.
I mean, I know that it all is somewhat time sensitive, but
Yeah,
I think that we need to know what we can do, that way we can, at least when we go, be able to say, this is what I know that we can offer in terms that would work for us if you don't have this.
Right, and there's no guarantee they'll come up with any money.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
but at the very least, as long as Judy knows.
Right, because one of the things that when I was talking with Tammy was that, there's a chance that, because I said, well, what's a reasonable amount to ask? And she said, I think, you should ask for the whole banana. But there's a good chance they might come back and say, well, we want to do 500. Then we'll get that together. It's get a bond issue with USDA.
Would USDA do the whole thing, or what was it that text there?
We'd have to revisit. We'd have to.
I'll tell you what, I sat through the meeting not too long ago when they were talking about how it seemed to be that a lot of residents felt like there was a lot of work happening within the state of Kansas doing and implemented that it would probably be nice to look like we work nice with the opportunity, so.
Yeah, and that,
We're trying, we will help if we also think help us.
and that was part of the discussion is that, some of the Marvell money that they've asked for, they haven't come through with some of the things that they're doing. So some of that monies that were committed to that might not warrant IEP that we're asking for, right? Which is part of the timing of asking for it, because then if they table it, and then some of the other projects up north don't happen, they'll have the funding, but we're already in the queue to get it. So, that's part of the thinking as well. So, I certainly think that, I'd like to have some of that and have that secured.
I don't know, just sit down with you going whenever you're ready, as long as we know that you're.
I'm good.
As long as we know that we're able to
Cut out the costs.
carry out whatever terms. Judy's the only person that can tell us that for sure.
Will that give you enough time, Judy? Okay. Yeah, I'm good with it. See, I mean,
Because
I'm sure they're not gonna decide in that meeting.
Yeah.
They'll definitely probably table it and.
Well, and that's commission, council.
That's right. The commissioners approved it, then it's to us to.
Go to council. So, I mean, there's stuff to work out, might as well get it started, because if not, you're another month behind.
Well, and then the part of that packet that, tell me if I'm missing something, but the other is, you probably gonna have to defend the purchase price, which is 25,000 an acre. And, I've got the appraisals for that we got, so I do have that background. And then, let them know that there's the infrastructure for that.
I've taken, I've done some research on the subdivision itself, and I got some more to help you with how possibly get that loan.
Okay,
So,
good. Okay, good, because the more I have organized, the better, because I'd like to get that in their hands before that meeting. too.
Speaking of, not to change subjects real quick, but speaking of loans and bonds, it's a wonderful new asset to the town. When you can find out where we stand with our fire department bond. Because you never got an answer from that, is that right?
No.
What we're afraid of is that we're gonna time out on that. Is it a bond, was it a bond that they posted, is that how it worked?
So, can't be real, because I haven't really pulled that. Did you pull that, Jimmy?
Pretty much the premise of it was that the construction company put, maybe I'm assuming some sort of guarantee type bond for X amount of years after, right? And we've had some issues with that firehouse since its completion. My question is, where do we stand with that, and what do we need to be able to do to access some of that to pay for the
So
efficiency?
basically what you're saying is the company that we hired to firehouse, they're bankrupt. They're in all instances.
Okay.
We've had a lot of warranty issues that we paid out of pocket to have fixed because they were fixed companies. We still have ongoing issues with some things that we get addressed, we don't have to spend money on it. So that's kind of what we're saying.
But we all kind of felt like it was a 5-year,
I would say it's good.
I mean, that'd be great.
How
Um,
many years is that?
5, 4. Either 4.
So if it's coming on 5,
That's what I'm saying, if it was a 5-year, like, we need to do something soon.
And does Becky have, the paper trail signed with regard to?
I would think she would have to, right? Or Judy,
I would say they would have it on the year.
the paperwork for those firehouse projects, the bonds and all that.
I thought you were getting Becky.
Okay, I was just, I mean, I'll double check the file, but,
I just remember it's something
I
that,
just know that that's a place that we'll start.
And if not, Judy, if you find something, can you forward that to Toby?
because we brought it up for a while, we keep slipping through the cracks, we forget about it, we don't put it back on our agenda or anything. I just hate for the time out and this out.
Like 13, just like that.
I want to say $100,000.
Me? Mike, you have anything?
Yeah, where are we, relative to the, I guess that's really a redevelopment question, but where are we relative to the bridges?
I think we've, conservative issue, right? I think we took care of that the last time, you were gonna reach out to.
Yeah, I told them to move ahead with it. So we're.
So I think the only thing we need to make sure we stay on top of, I don't think anything's holding him up, except for the removal of the Grand Street Bridge.
Right.
And we have 2 things, one was from Barnhart, who still has never been anything on paper, but they said they cannot work. And then, well, what are you talking to Moeller, was that?
Yes, I called Corey and he has not got back to me. So I can call him.
I'll follow the Barnhart. And Do we, three quotes for that probably? Three, you know?
Yeah,
We're trying to do
that's
that.
3 quotes. We don't have to have bids, we just have to have quotes.
Quotes, so we're trying to remove.
Isn't that only over a certain amount though?
Over 50.
It's over 50 and it shouldn't cost more than 50. I mean, we can get 3, I'm good with it.
No,
But I know there should be a number. I think it's 50,000, anything over 50. And I think that might even have been raised because of vehicles.
But do we need to include on that, then,
That's
who's looking at taking care of Paul Drive, is my opinion. I know we're worried about Graham Street and we're worried
You
about.
were gonna
Lincoln
talk to
Street.
Corey about that as well. right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be lifted. Is what I was understood from talking to Connor. I don't think it has to be
Does it need
lifted.
to be filled properly?
No, it needs to be, I think sloped properly. Might need to be put some more clay in it. It needs to have, drainage fabric put down, and then it needs to have, riprap put in.
But he cannot do that?
He cannot do that. He is willing, he said he's more than willing to tell them how it needs to be done, but he cannot do it.
Okay.
I mean, I think he can, but he said you're better off to have a local contractor that has an
So
SOB.
it sounds like maybe this is something separate.
Yes, it's something separate.
Well, and I think the other is we want a south entrance into that bridge.
We were gonna open that up, I think us town guys are gonna take care of that.
Okay, okay, all right.
A little help maybe from a local contractor. I can make sure I get taken care of, just inside the ditch work, I don't think we can do it. Then also in that, inspection report, they recommended putting drainage along 4th Street to prevent that from happening again of some sort.
Yes.
Which we luckily somehow found one storm tile, manhole on 4th and Carroll. So we're wondering if more of them aren't covered up. It was a foot buried. And about a foot away was a drain with actual manhole to get in there. I'm hoping maybe we can find a couple more if we can get a camera in there and start looking around.
That'd be nice.
So we might have some more we can expose along the ditch or something. We have drainage already there, we can tie into, it'd be a
Will
cheaper
that help
project.
our, Carroll Street flooding problem?
That's what I was working on, and then I kinda got delayed on that, so.
What else, Mike? I know you got something.
Okay, so and then, let's see what else. And that was all part of that revenue stream. And, oh, yeah, and then, I did talk to Ricky about what Ken Smith is doing with the water.
You were waiting on the smoke testing and flow testing. He wanted to know if Matt had certain hydrant, I don't think for ISOs you need certain ones done, it's a percentage, right? I told him that, so we're waiting for the weather to break and not, the water won't freeze on the road, so we're almost there. So, just weather pending pretty much where we're at with the.
Because
The water stuff.
our water downtown is really.
And he wants to come back, he's gonna bring 9 test kits. He's gonna give Judy and get some downtown businesses.
Yeah.
He wants to do some testing and see what he finds into the water as far as maybe treating that separately. So, he has some ideas he's working on, it's just horrible. Your sewer works better though, right? What's that? Your sewer works better, right?
It's still draining, it's still leaking around the next one now.
Okay.
You know,
Well, excited, you know, we fixed it.
You fixed the one, I guess there's 2.
Oh, man.
No, I've got a whole building water filtration system in mind to kind of treat it.
Well, then maybe he's gonna give us, Judy, get a list of the people downtown that have problems.
Mhm.
You may want to collect a water sample, get test for different kinds of bacteria that may be present.
Yeah, like with our water system, it's supposed to filter every 4 to 6 months, we have to do it.
Yeah,
So we're hoping maybe you can get some answers about doing that as well. That's part of it, I forgot about that one, yes, he's doing that on top of it. There's some south side town where we have issues and stuff.
Because we have great water on Ray Street, we got icky water.
It's probably a little
And
pipes
then
in
down at
the
the end, both for bad news.
The thing is, every time we come across something clean on the inside.
Two of us, but
It's probably kind of some secret hidden under like cistern, but you don't know there's like 6 foot
No, because we had a water main break on the courthouse, we definitely noticed the water usage in the water tower.
Did you find it?
The water main break?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, no, we're out.
No, the other one.
No, it must have been this, water plant, but it stopped after 3 days. Or it corrected itself.
What's up?
That's very unusual for water to correct it.
Usually, I mean, if we get about the 400,000 gallon range for a day or two,
Yeah.
we usually find a water main. Well, we went 3 days of 400, 480, well, and then the next day it was down to normal 260 or something like that. What happened there?
It is weird.
No complaints.
Right? No complaints on my end.
It's all right, it will run later.
Yeah.
All right, do we, last thing on my list is, do we have any updates on properties?
The updates I gave you last meeting with the Green properties.
Okay.
He would still like to meet with us to discuss possibly a small subdivision up where they're at. It's pretty up now.
Well, he's making some progress, but we've got a long way to go.
Has he spread the dirt count?
Not really much.
No, he has not
No.
started tearing down, just moved stuff around.
They've got, they purchased the demo permit, so I know they're waiting on an excavator to come to tear down and haul all of it.
Well, I like the fact that they made a move to get anything done, and then we've got, what about our little buddy Josh Carter, getting all over the road?
Yeah.
And we will-
Sometimes limitation.
Yeah, because we should start finding,
Subdividing a specific parcel.
because he's had the letter, he's had the other
I
letter.
think that was part of the letter, telling
You
you
notify the parcel.
what farm you're gonna start.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then did we ever,
Prevent people from doing that.
did we ever come to a conclusion on the money that, Plunkett has? You know, Becky asked us to think about, you know, are we gonna enforce that 17 grand he owes?
I thought she was looking into something for us on that.
I know she is as well.
I thought you were gonna have her send a letter thing. No, she
Well,
was looking
no,
into
she
something.
said that you decide what goes in the letter.
Yes.
She was gonna hold off
And
and
she was gonna look into something, but I don't remember what she was looking into.
we put that on
It's 19,000.
next
Was
month.
it 19? Okay.
Not the regular, but the ordinance one.
Well, that was the month before. You know, because kind of my thinking on that is that we stick with that, but then use that money, we repatriate that money to clean up whatever needs to be cleaned up on the property.
You missed the back end, but there you go.
And that way, you know, we could spray the parking lot, we could keep the loading dock cleaned out, we could keep the windows fixed, we can take care of the rotted trees that fall down.
I just want to make sure I heard you right. If the decision was that he pays that fine and we reinvest it in his property,
Yeah.
I don't think we can do that. I don't think towns can.
The town can do that,
Yeah. I forgot what she was, I thought she was looking into something about, she wasn't for sure if we could even enforce that.
There was something I remember, but I don't remember.
I don't remember what it
that
was.
she-
I just
that-
remember she said not to send it yet. She was gonna look into
She
something.
was gonna look into it, and if we decided she would send the letter, just.
Yes,
start
yes.
over.
Okay, so we need to follow up on.
On that,
figure out
to
what
see-
our options are.
So we put that on,
March 11th meeting.
no, that's March 11th is regular, we should put on the ordinance. Would you agree?
Yeah, because we need to do a thorough look at, you know, like Schultz, Brookwood and all those guys.
Well, some of those is they've got fines, we need to be lean. Well, we have to
And
do
that was a discussion at one point, especially with this Third Street address, this is the 400 block, yeah. If we review it or not.
Well, that's the thing, she's gonna look into how we send those fines to them, how you weren't sure exactly how to get those fines to them.
I think that's right. That's what she was gonna do with the Plunkett.
How we do that now?
So how do you do it? That's your water bill?
Oh, okay.
You know, how do we get that fine to them?
Well, you're gonna have to lean just like we've been on the water, but.
Yeah.
But,
But we would be putting a lien in for the courthouse on the
yes,
property,
yes.
which is probably best for that.
So thanks about the only way.
So our next blighted property meeting is gonna be a busy one.
Should be,
Yep.
I'd say that viewing, so if you get an email out,
Just review some ahead of time.
review some stuff ahead of time would be great.
So I need to make sure, are you feeling the same way that the largest concern with the minutes is just to make sure that Julie's doesn't contradict Becky's or Pat's or whatever, and if everything looks good and Jim and we're like, well, and those minutes are gonna go through to the publisher.
Yeah, yes, I think if we have the beginning to the end of notes, I think we're fine to send them, we need to organize them, send them to the publisher. And then when we come back, I feel like we're gonna have to go through the book again. And then at that time, if some boards have changed, so if you don't like what was in there originally, we can change it then and get back to them with a lot less corrections. But if they're a total disaster, we just need to kind of sit down and start to put everything back together, get one master copy, and send off.
Yeah, because it'd be nice to be in a position where we can enforce some of the new ordinances.
And some of them were put in place.
What new ordinances do you feel like we can't enforce though?
The main thing I know of was fines.
Yeah, we changed the fines. on
And we
the-
raised the fines when Debbie was here. We made that, we passed that through. Like the building permits and whatever, we raised it.
don't have the actual ordinance
Yes.
to support those. The only thing that we actually changed were mats, the
Yep.
building commissioner,
The sewer caps,
the sewer cap fees,
the water cap.
and water cap. There might have been one other thing.
There's some random stuff that we put through, but I mean, other than
But
that,
yes, like the golf cart maybe.
Yes.
The semi,
I think we went through and changed like the leash law, that fine, nuisance, like some of those we increased. But they're
but
just,
we don't
But
actually,
we can't go back on them because we don't have them final.
Right.
We don't have an actual ordinance.
Right,
that
but that's-
says that.
But won't that need to be done before district publisher anyways?
No. Well, once you get it back, you can go through and do each ordinance and you have to read them. And then you have to read them in one meeting, you have to post it like for 2 weeks. But you can submit, what Pat told us back in the days is to wait until we're completely done if they're not urgent. Then you can submit them all and say, here's the write your complaints or whatever, you gotta post it in the new, you gotta go through and you can just say, we've accepted the new ordinance of this, and so.
Yeah.
You can do each individual one, but we wanted to do the
All
whole.
at the same time.
Now, if one's urgent, we can add one right away. But the issue is you there's a process, 2 weeks in the paper, you have to put it out there for them.
But we did, the building commissioners, those we can enforce.
Yep.
The water tap, the sewer tap. Not very many.
There are very few, maybe 10.
Yeah.
Maybe, so.
So even though we increased those fines, we can't officially,
But you can always still enforce it from what was prior, right?
yes.
So it's not.
Yes,
like
you
we're
can
like-
go and say, can you give me $2?
But $2 a day adds up, right?
Yes.
So we're not in a standing where we can't do our jobs, it's just we like to get them.
Yeah, you're just running off, well, yes, correct. Yeah. Basically.
Yes.
What do you think, Mike?
That was everything on my list.
What are we at on the project, Bank Park?
Kirby said they're gonna start on it when the weather breaks.
Like I said, I haven't seen anything yet. I figure I'd give him,
Yeah, I get pretty much crickets on that.
he just tried to call me, so maybe I'll ask him about that when I call him back.
And then, the only other thing, just FYI, I did, add another member to the, task force. Don Harris is gonna join the task force. So, hopefully that brings some positive, good thinking into that, particularly some of the building stuff we're talking about. And the connection into the politics of the county. He's the Republican county chairman,
Yep.
so I don't know.
You should know.
Do you have any? Yep. What's? Yeah, buddy. Awesome. Motion to adjourn.
Make motion.
Yeah, so motion in a second, all in favor?
Yeah, are you guys getting tired of me adding stuff to it?
You're right.
No, not at all.
Hey, we get all that stuff done though.
Quick recess?
Yeah, quick recess and then an executive session. Oh, you can say or not. I mean, do you have any desire to have Cody with us for a
See,
executive
the
session?
front door is locked.
Not necessarily that I know of.
What's up to you? You're welcome.
I mean, we only have one thing on the executive session.
Yeah.
I wasn't here, so I don't know. I appreciate it. One meeting I missed, you told me in. So
You're
here
gonna
I
have
am.
more copies.
Yeah, I don't know what I missed, because I was here,
I missed the last meeting, so I'm catching up.
You just pass around, then I figured.
so I'm not the only one. that's in the dark.
No.
Council.
That's how I live my life. I'm like, bloody.
Hey, except for, if you have a really like, I don't like that, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, it might be illegal, but. I'm small difference anyway.
Thanks, Cody. You believe I typed that whole thing out for myself?
Yeah, because not whether it's something that's
Huh?
Hold on. I'm gonna get shocked, I know it.
I didn't hear it.